Hey, what you doing there? Don't drop your grain of salt. You need that so you can think for yourself. I shared this for anyone that may appreciate. Some of it will sound wild to some, but what am I to do? Pretend I am not who I am? Well, wouldn't that be dishonest of me? May these words find you well. You've shared so much with us, and so I thought I would share something with you. All the time, people ask each other, do you have any regrets? And for some of us, to constantly ruminate around that regret means they had not truly learned from that mistake, which indeed can open the door to making another one. We can let regret be the brick wall that stops us from ever breathing a full breath again. Or we can lay that regret down as another stepping stone on our path. I take this regret out of me and I place it right where it belongs, in my past. I mark this as a boundary that I will never cross again. For I have seen, and now I know, and I have learned, and this is now integrated, self-sustained, forevermore. I am. For the sake of drifting minds, I say, some mistakes are more costly than others. But to carry the weight of such regret is not just a burden, but a blasphemy unto the self. Indeed. Do you think those who truly love you wish to see you shuffle underneath the weight of your past, which is no longer here, but gone, long gone, right where it belongs, in the past, which is not present? Do you not think they would wish to see you live fully and alive, breathing deeply, standing tall at the fullness of your potentiality? Anyone that would wish to see you small, indeed, shuffles beneath the weight of their own anxiety. Some of them cast their own wounds out like whips, a desperate attempt to soothe their own, but it is a false victory. Soon the triumph fades, and only shadows remain, and so the cycle must repeat again. On and on and on they wander through the unlit corridors of their psyche. The hollow areas of their mind they fear to look. They see a door marked, "Do not enter," and they imagine what phantoms lay behind, howling behind the walls as they sleep at night. Maybe that's why some of us prefer to sleep in the daytime. They fear the unknown, thinking they know. But I tell you, once you dare to explore those dim passageways of the mind, illuminate those corridors, the sconces are lit forever. Dwell not on water that has already passed over the wheel. If it is done, it is done. It lie right where it belongs, long gone, in the past, which is no longer present. Hone, I say, but don't let me tell you what to do. smooth those ragged edges, so you may glide along the golden bricks of your inner truth. Fear not, be not afraid. Perfect love casts out fear. Be gone! You have no power here. This is my kingdom. You have no lease here. I seize this, shatter, dissolve, and consume it in the mighty consuming flame of all my love. Get thee hence, powerless human creation. I know thee not. My world is filled with the mighty perfection of the mighty I am, that I am presence, which you are, which I am, we are. Masters have appeared all around the globe for well over 4,500 years, teaching the same thing, in different languages, of course. It is almost as if they're in some chat somewhere online, sharing the same things. But they did not have phones back then. They had no internet connection. Well, maybe they were simply tapped into the source. Ah, yes. That flame of love which beats our hearts, breathes our breath, blinks our eyes, breathes life into our imagination and our emotional atmosphere. Without it, we could not even consider anything. Some say imagination is God. Just a facet, but one ray of the whole. Light, love, radiance, presence. Are you present enough to see the fullness of your presence? And why ever would you be afraid to look? Many say, every knee will bow. To what? Every tongue will confess. To whom? I bow to the light in me. I bow to the light in thee. I bow to the light in everything, in everybody. To light alone I bow. I dare not bow to ignorance. If only one of us knows better, then one of us better be the better example, shouldn't we? If I were to bow to ignorance, I would then become an enabler, and that would come back on me. You could say I've used up my coupons. Too expensive. Turns out there are much more luminous spheres to place my attention upon. So often we get lost ruminating, dwelling, circling our morbid fascination. Sometimes even thinking they are the golden goody. Ha! I found the golden goody. But, darling, to ever get quite excited about anything is an indicator you have been dwelling in lack. You may not actually live in lack, but it would be an indicator you dwell in it daily, having perpetuated a momentum you had not recognized yet. Some ask, can Christians learn anything from Hindus? Some say, no, I don't like to learn. That's demonic, even though I don't know the origin of that word. Can Christians learn anything from Hindus? Yes, of course, if they're willing to open their mind. But many will not. Such is their right. But it begs the question, how closed off are they? Which reminds me, an Indian man told me once, don't get too excited. It's bad for your health. Do you know what he meant? You need not go way up here, so that you inevitably must go way down here. No. Peaceful middle. Healthy balance. Does a healthy balance require us to cast aside our passions and desires? Absolutely not. That would only delay the inevitable. It would be repression. And bottling things up always leads to something. Eruption. And since we had perpetuated the momentum of bottling things up, when that inevitable eruption occurs, what do? We start the process over again, much like those who cast their wounds like a whip. Some fear others hating them. Oh, what if they hate me? Is there something you should apologize for? What will they say? What will they think? If they dwell in hate, they are already touching an electric wire. You don't have to drink the poison with them. We all get what is coming to us by our own hand, our own creation and service. What blasphemy they do unto themselves. Some people's illusions are their curriculum, and you can't rightly stand between someone and their lessons, can we? Since when has it ever worked? What if they hate me? Why don't you ask them? But then again, what they think is none of your business, is it? If one wishes to dwell in the shadows of illusion, we must let them. You cannot coerce freedom into the hands of another. And coercion is not a fruit of faith, but a confession of its absence. Which is not to say that faith cannot grow there. It can, if they will let it. Which requires release, to let it go. Give it up to God, they say. The infinite. Not some pitifully limited painting of what we may call God. Because after all, how finite must we imagine God to be? Some say God is a man, God is a woman, God is an it. Maybe it is simply that God is. Does that mighty master self within have any wiggly bits? Oh, master. I say, no one can truly hate you. And how could God ever hate anything? For as far as I have been looking, hate is founded on ignorance. If you truly understood someone, you would not hate them. You would understand. Does this mean God is an idiot? Oh, well, that definitely sounds like blasphemy. We speak of these things as though they're so important, though most we ever do is parrot interpretations of people who had parroted interpretations, who borrowed them from previous generations. On and on and on it goes, evolving mind by mind, mouth by mouth, until we have this idea of the devil today. No one cares to look at the origin of the word. Disappointing, but not unexpected. It seems it was only yesterday that gay meant gleeful. No one can truly hate you for that discomfort they feel when they will not stop staring. It's a reflection from within themselves. They ride against the reflection of their own insecurity. They're not hating you. They are hating the image of you in their mind, which means they are hating themselves. God help them, because the people didn't. We all wake up in due time. The path of awakening does not look the same for anyone. You're telling me the kinds of things I've experienced, they don't warn you about in the Bible. Mighty master self within this individual, mighty I am presence, come forth with thy mighty wisdom, thy mighty insight and foresight, and lift the consciousness into the full, dazzling, resplendent light, where they may know the repose, rest, and peace they so much deserve by their own creation and service. I am light, glowing light, radiating light, intensified light. God consumes my darkness, transmuting it into light. This day I am a focus of the central sun, flowing through me as a crystal river, a living fountain of light, which can never be qualified by human thought and feeling. I am an outpost of the divine. Such darkness as has used me is swallowed up by the mighty river of light, which I am. I am light. I live in light. I am light's purest intention. I am light's fullest dimension. I am light, flooding the world everywhere I move, blessing, strengthening, and conveying the purpose of the kingdom of heaven within and so without. God bless your divine presence. I bow to the light in you, and I send you all the divine love of my being to bless and prosper you. A while back, someone told another, "You are not unique." Gasp. How, in what conceivable world, could any one of us not be considered rare, when each being is a unique, unrepeatable aperture through which infinity beholds itself? Singular configurations of the ineffable, shimmering facets of the unending one. All is one. How could a so-called finite emanation of the infinite ever be capable of offending its emanator? You can, however, offend people who were never taught freedom beyond offense. Which is not to say that we should permit or allow harm to persist, but we also do not have to allow vicious thoughts to cloud our vision and stir an interior tempest. You cannot help it if a bird lands upon your head, but you do not have to let him build a nest in your hair. Hate never cured hate. It never has. It never will. Contempt never healed contempt. Has it ever? Oh, what a thrill. Radiate, radiate, radiate that divine love and compassion like a radio tower. Because you know what they say. Ask, and you shall receive. Wait, that's not the right one. Ask, and be surrounded by your answer. I will not pray for patience. That is a declaration that I have none. I am the presence of God's perfect patience in action in me now. Doesn't that feel better? And just like that Indian man said, don't get too excited. It's bad for your health. How powerful are we to believe we could ever offend our emanator, which we were never separate from? That limitless light of awareness, which we are. How human we imagine God to be. The eye with which I see God is the eye with which God sees me. My eye and God's eye are one. One seeing, one knowing, one love. The light speaks once and forever.